And I'm wrapping this up. I'm sorry this is going long. I'm not really sorry. If you want to look up the passages that go with that, Colossians 2, just read the whole passage. Galatians 2. I'm going to read this one, and then I'll bring it all home. Knowing that a man is not justified by the works of the law, but by faith of Jesus Christ, even we have believed in Jesus Christ, that we might be justified by the faith of Christ, and not by the works of the law. For by the works of the law, no flesh shall be justified. But if we seek to be justified by Christ, we ourselves are also found sinners. Is therefore Christ the minister of sin? God forbid. For if I build again the things which I destroyed, I make myself a transgressor. For I through the law am dead to the law, that I might live unto God. And this is the kicker, Galatians 2:20. For I am crucified with Christ, nevertheless I live, yet not I, but Christ liveth in me. And the life which I now live in the flesh, I live by the grace of the Son of God, who loved me and gave himself for me. And that's how I would answer the toggles. It's like a toggle switch, Tyler, in the mind, when you talked about, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. And it seems like we have a part of that. But I really believe it's only by having Jesus in us that is even possible, to have that ability to be yielded to God. And it's not something we can do through our own will, because if it was, we'd get the credit for letting Jesus, even like in John 15, where he says, I am the vine, you are the branches. Abide in me and you will bear much fruit. I do not believe we can abide in God without Jesus in us abiding in himself. And last picture.
The computer can't keep up, Fred. It died.
Okay. The last picture. The last part, verse 21. For I do not frustrate the grace of God, for if righteousness came by the law, then Christ is dead in vain. If we could be saved by our own efforts, Jesus didn't need to die. We just need to get cracking. But we can't do it. And Jesus had to die because we never could have done it. And the last picture I have, it's just this man with Jesus coming up behind him, clothing him with a robe. And the whole point of ethics and morality is to live a life based on right conduct. The same issues that affect our attempts at trying to sanctify ourselves apply to any attempts to live an ethical and moral life. We are trying to reform ourselves, or in the case of most Christian ethics, asking God to make us better people and to help us overcome our deficiencies. And think about how you pray when you're struggling. It's like, Jesus, please help me be a better person. Please help me be more kind, be more patient, be more loving. Jesus, help me. And it's just kind of like, no, you're missing the whole point. It's not about you and being a better person. Salvation isn't an ethical stain removal service that we stop by and get a touch up every now and again when we feel soiled. But that's how many of us live our Christian's life. It's like, ooh, I got dirty. I thought a bad thought, or I was mean to my little brother, and we're like, hey, Jesus, could you get rid of this little stain? It's not making my outfit look so hot today. And it's just like, no. Salvation is rather having our soiled garment burned in the furnace and having it replaced by a stain-proof garment. Mortality is exchanged for immortality, and our carnal mind for the very mind of Christ. Saved is a Christian cliche, but if you ask many Christians what they're saved from, they're probably going to say, oh, I'm saved from hell. The more I meditate on this, I think what I'm saved from is myself. The divine solution for sanctification is the same solution for ethics and morality. The only way out is death. Death frees us from the law, and it frees us from ourselves. Jesus did come to save us, but he also came to slay us. Yet he didn't leave us dead, but quickened our very spirits, and we now find newness of life in him. And this is the conclusion of the matter. Because I am dead, I no longer need ethics or morality. Because I am dead, I no longer have to try to live up to some impossible standard. Because I am dead, I am no longer a slave of sin. Because I am dead, I am no longer a part of the Adamic race. Death is the end of self and the beginning of newness of life in Christ. Because I am alive in Christ, my actions are an outflow of who I am rather than an attempt to become something I'm not. Because I am alive in Christ, I now have perfect righteousness. Because I am now alive in Christ, I am a partaker of the divine nature. And we can talk more about that later if you would like. Old things have passed away, all things have become new. Ethics, religion, and morality are for those who are still striving for self-correction and self-perfection. They all reek of the ways of Cain and are a slap in the face to the finished work of Christ. Because I am dead, I no longer have need of such things, for my salvation and sanctification are found in the one who gave himself for me, and my hope, peace, and righteousness are all found in him. That is why the dead have no need of ethics. And may that resonate and become a truth in your lives. May God bless you and keep you. All right.